Those 6 league meetings, it was very much Portsmouth's favour. They won 5 of those 6 league meetings. There was a draw. Ipswich didn't win any of them across those 3 seasons. There was also a Women's National League Cup quarter-final, which Portsmouth won. So Portsmouth used to getting the better of it against Ipswich. We're underway at the job serve. Natalia Negri has been busy in the Ipswich goal. Former Arsenal youth player, had a loan at Charlton as well. Was with Crystal Palace in their promotion season up to the top flight. Here's Summer Hughes, the Ipswich left back. Nutmeg Sophie Barker to get it back to Negri. A little bit risky in that one, but got away with it. It's gone straight out of play from Negri's clearance though. And it'll be Jazz Bull, the Portsmouth captain, to take this throw in. And if you didn't see the highlights from midweek, Ruby Seaby's goal for Ipswich, their first goal of the season. Right, Fabio Rox is checking on something here, the referee. There's a Portsmouth player down. And as that's dealt with, I was just talking about Ruby Seaby's goal in the week. Put Ipswich ahead against WSL side Leicester. It was such a well-taken goal. Lovely assist as well from Jenna Deere. They did go on to lose that 5-1 to a strong Leicester side, but it was just those first shoots of attacking positivity for Ipswich, having failed to score in their first 3 league games. There's Emma Jones of Portsmouth, who is receiving treatment here. She's sitting up, which is a positive sign, and talking as the Portsmouth medical staff and Ava Robotham, her teammate, just pats her on the back there. Difficult start to the game this for Emma Jones, really experienced forward, and Jessie Gale is already getting ready to come on loan from Arsenal for the season is Jessie Gale, and it looks like she's going to be called into action very early on because Emma Jones has taken a difficult tumble here, and it doesn't look right now that she's going to be able to carry on. She's pulled back to her feet and she hobbles off the pitch. And Jessie Gale is going to make an early introduction here. Well, that's unfortunate for Emma Jones, unfortunate as well for Portsmouth's manager. Jay Sadler would not have wanted to make a change that early on. We've not even had 3 minutes played. Probably barely a minute of playing time, and we hope that Emma Jones is okay. And it's nothing too serious. Didn't quite catch what happened there, but really unfortunate for her. Experienced player who's played for Wales, of course. And Portsmouth are now going to miss her experience for the rest of this afternoon. Although in her place, Jessie Gale, a bright young thing with so much talent and so much promise. It's all the way through to the Portsmouth goalkeeper, Jess Gray. Another player on the pitch to be a former Charlton player is Jess Gray, who's got the ball at her feet now. Gets it out to Greta Humphreys. I'm told it's a left leg injury that Emma Jones has sustained very early on in this game. Lovely ball by Rowe. It's flicked on it, almost finds its way through to Seaby. But Portsmouth cleared, and they're on the counter. There's Hornby. Hornby, who got that goal last week with the unorthodox free kick against Sheffield United, lays it off to Barker. Barker's got Bull on the overlap. Feeds it through to Bull. Bull gets a low cross in and a vital foot in. And Mitchell clears it to Seaby. Seaby's got Deere ahead of her. Goes for Dean instead. Dean lays it off to Deere, who returns it to Seaby. Seaby's in space. Here comes Ruby Seaby. She just halts somewhat. She thought about laying it off back to Dean, and she got caught in 2 minds rather, Ruby Seaby. Well, at one point it really looked like there was so much space for her to canter into. Bright start this for Ipswich on their home turf. And they have. Well, I thought for a moment they had an early corner, and they've not had many of them this season, but it's a goal kick. Portsmouth just a little rattled in these early stages. Jay Sadler has already been forced into that early change. He was really pleased with what he saw from his team in midweek when they took on a very strong Brighton team in the League Cup. They did lose 2-0, but they played ever so well. He said they were able to play through the pressure of Brighton. Brighton ended that match with Michelle Agyemang on. She came off the bench for the last half hour. So it was a strong lineup they were facing. Paige Peak down here now for Ipswich. So we've had a real stop-start to this, beginning to this WSL 2 encounter. The Ipswich physio now on to 10-2 Paige Peak. Came through the youth system at Ipswich. Played more than 50 times for them before heading to Southampton on the back of Southampton's promotion to this level. Spent a couple of seasons there and then returned to Ipswich this summer, did Paige Peak. She has started every match, including the League Cup game, Paige Peak. She's needing a bit of treatment here, which gives the managers the opportunity to talk to their players, as Jay Sadler is doing here. Well, Andrew Waring is Andrew Waring with the Ipswich hat. He's the dad of Megan Waring. He's tucking into his meat pie there, don't blame him. Megan Waring on the substitutes bench for Ipswich this afternoon. He is the Ipswich drummer when he's not eating a pie. So he gets the fans going at the JobServe Community Stadium. Important role. Paige Peak may well have a problem there. She's got her right hand strapped up. I think she's going to be able to continue. Flicked on by Dean. Mitchell. Just a bit more on that Emma Jones injury. Left hamstring is the news that's filtering through to us. So a hamstring injury for Emma Jones in the first minute here at the JobServe. And so we're yet to really get going this afternoon. Emma Jones down and off with a hamstring, replaced by young Jessie Gale. And Paige Peak has just been down momentarily. And Ipswich hoping she's going to be able to return to the fray. Here's Mitchell for Ipswich. Feeds it off to Pescott. Rolls it back to Peak, who has returned to action. She sends it long for Pescott to give chase. But Humphries is there to just try and shepherd it out of play, which she does really well. Does the 20-year-old, signed this summer having left Chelsea, Greta Humphries. She too has been a regular for Joe Sheehan of Ipswich. Oh, sorry, of Jay Sadler of Portsmouth, of course. Getting my JS's mixed up. Two JS's on the touchline today. Jay Sadler of Portsmouth, Joe Sheehan of Ipswich. Each of those JS's will have a joyous Sunday on this match week 4 of the Barclays Women's Super League 2. Summer Hughes gives up the chase of that one for Ipswich. Jazz Bull with the throw for Portsmouth. Sends it long to Gale. Comes back to Roboff, and now it's with Bull, who at the second attempt but loses out ultimately to Pescott. Here's Sophie Pescott. Can she get the cross in? She does, left-footed, and bounces almost into the path of Dean. Hornby. Lovely first-time ball, but just a little bit too much on it, and Boswell gets there just ahead of Gale. Peak completes the clearance. Rowe, Mitchell, who's played with an experience belying her 19 years of age. Leah Mitchell's had a really good start to the season in the centre of midfield for Ipswich. Mentioned how Portsmouth left it so late last season. Really looked like they were going straight back down. Lay off to Gale. He's got Hornby in the centre of the area. Long shot in, it's straight down the throat from Robotham into the arms of Negri. Daisy Cutter didn't have enough power behind it. Comfortable gather for Negri. Good build-up play. Gale with the layoff and then tapped into the path of Robotham. But straight down the middle. Portsmouth didn't actually have a point on the board until the 10th of November when they got a 1-1 draw at Sheffield United. So Ipswich already ahead of schedule there. If you look at it, Portsmouth stayed up last season. They didn't have a point on the board till November. Hughes trying to get there, but it's Bull and she can lay it back. Not the greatest of clearances from Gray, and Pescott lays it off to Hughes. Dean's lurking on the edge of the 6-yard box. Hughes keeps it in, almost picks out Dean. But Portsmouth defended stoutly. Even after getting that point against Sheffield United, Portsmouth only had 2 points on the board with 6 games left. But they only lost 1 of those last 6, winning 3, drawing 2, and staying up. So they'll take so much comfort from that. Here's Hughes. Both teams will take so much comfort from what Portsmouth did last season, because they're both well ahead of that schedule. Portsmouth getting 3 points on the board last week with that 1-0 win over Sheffield United. Hornby on the ball here with the goal. Well, they were already 1-0 up this time last week with Portsmouth, because that goal came in the 10th minute from Hornby. There she is, the goal scorer last week. Love to know whether she meant it. Don't know if she was trying to pick out a teammate at the far post with the free kick. It went all the way in, loops high and far across goal and in off the far post against Sheffield United. It proved to be the only goal of the afternoon. Here is Humphreys, Greta Humphreys, the centre back. Humphreys receives it once more. Ball down the middle of the pitch. It's looped up of a Peak, who was able to clear it at the second attempt. Pescott now. Can she bring it under control? She does. Weaves back inside. As Seaby to her right. Here is Ruby Seaby. Seaby takes the shot on, but it's too close to Jess Gray. There is Ruby Seaby. Lovely goal in midweek against Leicester in the League Cup. Keeps her place in the starting lineup. Her first league start of the season this afternoon for Ruby Seaby. Hear the drum now. Is Megan Waring's dad drumming away, getting the Ipswich fans going. It's Freeland for Portsmouth, but it's given away by Portsmouth. Deere turns really well and wins her side. A free kick. Tia Primmer giving away the foul, former Reading youngster. Still a young player. Tia Primmer, only 21, signed this summer from Blackburn. Blackburn opting not to continue as a WSL2 club. And Tia Primmer, among with so many of her Blackburn cohorts, finding a new club, and she's now on the south coast and a regular starter with Portsmouth. So free kick for Ipswich, which Boswell takes. Seaby slips but recovers, gets the cross in, it loops over. I think she was going for goal, you know. I think she saw Gray was just off her line and Ruby Seaby fancied it and she went for it. You can see the disappointment on her face because the execution wasn't there from Ruby Seaby. She did really well to recover from the slip. And yeah, she was trying to guide that in over the head of Gray and in at the far post. Too much height on it. Of course, if there is an Ipswich goal this afternoon, it will be their first ever WSL2 league goal. Sure, every player out there would love to have the honour of that. It will be in the record books forever. Oh, quarter of an hour played. %60% of the possession to the home side. Ipswich, decent figure for them on their home patch. 40% for Portsmouth. Free kick to Ipswich. Peak tries to guide that through to Seaby. It's headed away. Ipswich come back straight away though. Seaby just manages to keep it in play, but it is given away. And Portsmouth have the opportunity to counter, but they can't get it beyond Boswell. And now it's all the way back with Negri. Peak. Peak sends it straight down the middle. It's flicked on by Dean, but too far ahead of Pesca, who knew she wasn't going to get there. Quickly conserved the energy. So this is the first meeting between these teams for 17 months, back in March of 2024. A WNL Southern Premier meeting, the season that Portsmouth ended up coming up as champions. They won that game 4-2 on their home turf, did Portsmouth. Georgie Freeland, who's in the starting lineup this afternoon, got a brace that day for Pompey. Emma Jones, who's gone off very early on, went down in the first minute with a left hamstring injury and had to be replaced by Jessie Gale. She also scored that day. Earlier in the season, Portsmouth won the reverse fixture, 1-0 away to Ipswich. And there was also that WNL League Cup quarter-final that season, which Portsmouth won 2-1 after extra time. Sophie Peskett was on the score sheet that evening for Ipswich. So Portsmouth very much having the better of the meetings between these teams over the years, over recent years. But Portsmouth, probably fair to say, a little bit on the back foot in the opening period here. Not helped by that early enforced substitution. Ipswich having marginally the better of it. Gray to Humphreys. Dean tries to get across, but Humphreys swerves and moves away from her. Freeland now with the layoff to Collins. Inside to Barker, the former Sheffield United player, but her pass is wayward. Didn't really give Robotham much chance, and here is Peskett. Still Sophie Peskett. And still comes Sophie Peskett. Can she get the shot away? It's blocked straight away. Flicked over by Rowe. And Hughes can't get there. Joe Sheehan appears to have taken up a different perspective, as he often does, occasionally does rather, moving from the dugout into the stands to look at how the game is panning out from the aerial perspective. Often helps managers and coaches get a different perspective on the game and make a tactical tweak if nearby. Greta Humphreys needing treatment here. This is the third player to need treatment in the opening 20 minutes. Jay Sadler having a chat with Jessie Gale, the early substitution who replaced Emma Jones, and Megan Hornby, the goal scorer last week. As Joe Sheehan of Ipswich makes his way back down to the touchline, having got a little glimpse from higher up of what was going on. Not much going on right now because Greta Humphreys is needing treatment, and Joe Sheehan is back now in the cap on the left of screen, chatting to Maria Boswell, his captain, Rhianna Dean. Summer signing from Southampton, an injury disrupted 2 seasons at Southampton. Rhianna Dean, the number 9. You can see looking directly at Joe Sheehan there. She did get 9 goals in 18 appearances across that injury hit 2 seasons, did Rhianna Dean. Not a bad return. Here's Greta Humphries back on her feet, just trotting off, having received treatment. But it looks like she's going to be okay to carry on. Player has to leave the pitch, of course, after receiving treatment. The Ipswich fans really hoping they're going to see a first league goal this afternoon, perhaps the first WSL 2 win. Long way to go. Even Stevens across his first 20 minutes. But they have to look at this as one of the more winnable fixtures at home to a team that itself has only got 1 year of WSL 2 experience under its belt, a team that really struggled last season. Points are going to be really hard to come by for Ipswich. They know that in their first season at this level, and they have to look at this one as an opportunity they really need to take. Peak sends it skyward, it drops to Pescott. Now it's with Hughes. Pescott. Oh, Dean with a lovely return to Pescott. Hughes has got a bit of space if Pescott opts to go back to her, but she whips across in instead. Dean with a header! Oh, Rhianna Dean! What a deft header! A beauty with the bounce. Heads it down and across goal and just inside that far post. And those Ipswich fans can celebrate their first ever goal in WSL 2. It was a beautiful flowing build-up. Hughes to Pescott. Dean back to Pescott. He took her time and then a sumptuous ball in. And what a header that was from Rhianna Dean. Ipswich have their first goal at this level. They have what might be a priceless lead. Bang on halfway the first half. How did Portsmouth respond? They're looking to get straight back in there, are the visitors. Well, they might have the chance to do so. Hornby finds Gale. Freeland. That's all the way back with Gray. Humphries. Ball goes back to Gray. Cone sends it long and too long. It's gone out of play. Primer can't get there. Grace Neville, signed in the summer, having been part of the team that helped London City Lionesses get promoted to the top flight. Brings so much experience, does the New Zealand international Grace Neville. The Ipswich number 12 to that right back position. She too has started every game. Grace Neville completed every minute of league action. Did come off during the League Cup encounter with Leicester in midweek. But she's making that right back position her own in these early days as an Ipswich player. Deer's layoff didn't have enough behind it. Portsmouth win it back. It's with Rowe of Ipswich now in the centre circle, and she's won her side. A free kick. Sophie Barker with the foul. No doubt about that one for the referee Fabio Rock. Negri with the clearance to Jenna Deer, and she's won another free kick. A former Sunderland player. This time, Izzy Collins with the foul. Collins, who gave away the penalty last weekend. Portsmouth have given away a penalty in each of their last 2 league matches, but they got away with it each time. Because last week, after Izzy Collins, that foul in the Sheffield United match, Amy Andrews of Sheffield United hit the post. She had the chance to tie it up at 1-1, but missed that chance, and Portsmouth hung on to win. The previous week, when Portsmouth lost 2-0 to Bristol City, Jess Gray, the Portsmouth goalkeeper, actually saved from Rio Hardy during that match. But Portsmouth did go on to lose 2-0. It was 1-0 at the time of that penalty. So they've given away a penalty in each of the last 2 league games, but neither of those penalties have been scored. There's Joe Sheehan, the Ipswich manager, who will have seen improvement week after week. A really difficult opening day against Portsmouth's South Coast rivals Southampton at St Mary's, when Ipswich were beaten 4-0. Pescott wins another free kick for Ipswich. Greta Humphreys committing the foul. Fabio Rock's going to have at least a word with her here. The yellow card is shown to Greta Humphreys for the foul on Pescott. They lost that first game 4-0. They could have been 2-0 down in 5 minutes that day. They were 3-0 down at half-time. They lost 4-0. Better performance the following week, 1-0 to the other newly promoted side. Just confirmation there of Greta Humphreys into the book. Nottingham Forest beat Ipswich 1-0 on match week 2. Then last week, a fine draw away at Charlton. And now they are leading. And is it going to be a second goal? Dean loops it up. Gray wasn't going to be caught out there. He comfortably clutches it out of the air. The flag is up for, I think, impediment on the goalkeeper trying to clear it. Rihanna Dean perhaps just getting in the way of that kick from arms. Fabio Rock says no. That can be taken again. Told he played as a defender in his playing days. Fabio Rock. Rock at the centre of defence. Dean with the effort there, not quite as expertly taken as the goal with which she gave Ipswich the lead about 5 minutes ago. Taken from the wrong position. Back you go, says Fabio Rock. Look at the stats there, and Portsmouth now have had 54% of the possession, so that's changed somewhat since we last saw it. Humphreys, who's just gone into the book, has recovered from that early knock she had, which required brief treatment. Jazz Bull, Portsmouth captain. Hornby lets it go for Barker to run onto, but Barker's cross is cut out by Rowe, who knocks it out of play for a Portsmouth throw. Which Bull will take. Gale was coming short for it, but in the end opts to keep up that position on the edge of the box. Here it is with Hornby. Mitchell brings it clear for Ipswich. Mitchell, lovely turn by Leah Mitchell. Boswell. Oh, tidy little flick from Jenna Deere. Seaby. Seaby with the through ball. Perfect weight on that ball. And here's the goal scorer, Dean. She's got Pescott in the middle and Hughes at the far post. Hughes is on the ball now. Hughes with the cross back towards Dean. And you feel like Ipswich could have made more of that. They had 3 forward. Mitchell. Seaby. Seaby's strong in the tackle to win it back for Ipswich. Peak. Hughes. Hughes turns Hornby really well and picks out Jenna Deere. Deere just managed to keep it in a crafty back heel towards Pescott. Oh, Gale with a lovely layoff to Barker. Barker sends it long down the middle of the pitch. Neville will get there ahead of Primer. Sends it back to Negri. He's not been unduly bothered. Had that one long-range effort from Rowbotham, which was comfortable for her. Spoken of her ambitions of playing for England one day as Negri. Also eligible for Italy or Spain. Has played for England under 19s. Gale tries to turn, but Boswell wins it back and finds Seaby. Seaby the 1-2 with Deere. Seaby just lost her footing again as she went to begin that surge forward down the right-hand flank. Just over half an hour played. Ipswich lead through their first ever WSL 2 goal. Bull. Back to Humphries, who's walking a bit of a tightrope now, having gone into the book for that foul on Pescott about 5 minutes ago. Collins. Collins' pass forward is cut out by Seaby, but she can't bring it under control. Portsmouth with an opportunity now. Rowbotham. Bull. Decent pass from Bull to Hornby. Hornby loops it in towards the far post. Too much on it. Out of play. Ipswich will be happy with that. Jay Sadler sat amongst his coaching staff. Both these managers have been with their clubs for a long time now. Jay Sadler took over in 2017. Joe Sheehan back in 2019 took charge of Ipswich. They've done so much for their clubs to bring them up to this level of football. But they want to continue the growth. They don't want to settle the WSL 2 status forever. Lovely ball through from Mitchell to Deere, but the flag's up. Well, she took it really well. The flag was up. Assistant referee Imogen Gates got the flag up straight away. It did look offside, and she had a better view than most of us did the assistant referee. Said they don't want to settle for WSL 2 status forever. I'm sure Ipswich will certainly settle with that for this season. Portsmouth want to make life a little easier than last season's battle to the wire. And they just want to grow season on season. Not easy to do when every other team is growing too, and the competition just gets fiercer and fiercer every year. Free kick given to Portsmouth for a foul on Izzy Collins. Greta Humphries to Cone, former Everton player, another of those players too who have been at Blackburn recently. Hannah Cone, the Portsmouth number 5, the left of the centre-back pairing with Humphries, who's on the ball now. Humphries, lovely pass out to Hornby, who nutmegs Pescott, and now it's with Bull. Cone. Calling for more movement is Hannah Cone. A little frustrated there that she wasn't able to get the attack going in the way she wanted to. Hornby's dropping deeper. And is forced deep to Cone once more. Cone sends it long, picks out Bull expertly, and she lays it off nicely to Hornby. Hornby in, and the header by Primer was never in danger of troubling Negri. Kept her first clean sheet at this level last week away at the Valley, did Natalia Negri. First clean sheet for Ipswich at this level. Dear to Seaby. Seaby sends it on nicely to Dean, but Dean was well offside. She's frustrated with herself for making the run too early. Just under 10 minutes plus added time. There'll be a fair bit because we've had 3 stoppages for treatment in this half. The first of which leading to a very early change with Emma Jones down in the 2nd minute and having to go off and be replaced by Jessie Gale for Portsmouth. Oh, and Pescott's pulled back there, surely, by Bull. And no surprise there that she's gone into the book too. So 2 of the back 4 for Portsmouth now in the book. Greta Humphreys and Jazz Bull. Sophie Pescott playing a part in both of those bookings because she's such a difficult player. If you allow her to get any space, Portsmouth desperate not to allow her to have space, but at the expense of 2 bookings. Free kick now to Ipswich. Mitchell and Peake and Dean all up there. It'll be the former Charlton player Rowe to take this. Right arm aloft. Steps back 5 paces and swings it in. Who's he going to pick out? It's headed down by Mitchell and into the arms of Gray. Gale. Gale looks to get away from Neville, but Neville won't give her the room. And she does so win. Portsmouth a free kick. Does Jessie Gale. And this was the chance a moment ago. The free kick from Bethan Rowe. And the header, which was comfortably saved by Gray. Portsmouth free kick. Hornby has come all the way through to Rowbotham, who will keep it in. Well, she lets it go instead, in fact, for the throw. Ava Rowbotham. Bull can send these long. Hornby's in there, Primmer's in there. In it comes from Bull towards Hornby. Peake clears it for Ipswich. Picked up by Collins. Bull. Portsmouth wayward in their passing, but they're going to get another chance. In fact, no, because once more the ball's gone straight out of play. And it'll be Summer Hughes with the throw for Ipswich. Hughes gets distance on it. It's headed on by Dean, the goal scorer. Now it's with Mitchell, but Freeland wins it back really well for Portsmouth. She can't pick out Primmer though, and Seaby picks it up for Ipswich. Seaby tries to send it through to Neville on the overlap, the underlap rather. It is now a Ipswich throw, which Grace Neville will take. Flicked on by Deer. Seaby, or Seaby wins. Well, she's gone down holding her right ankle. Challenge came in from Collins. It was in that sort of position that Collins actually gave away a penalty last week. She got the timing of her challenge right this time, but she did also catch Seaby as well as getting the ball. And Seaby just goes down holding the ankle. Izzy Collins had to get that spot on to avoid a spot kick, and she managed to do so. There's going to be another Portsmouth change, it would appear. Corner kick to Rowe, whose signal is tapping the top of the head. Don't see that one too often. In it comes from Rowe, all the way through to Peake with the header. And over the bar, well over the bar from Paige Peake, who still looks to be in a little bit of discomfort. Not running with much ease, a bit of a grimace on her face, right hand strapped too. Four minutes plus added time to play at the end of this first half. First half in which Ipswich have a slender lead, but perhaps a precious lead. Boswell to Neville. Neville guides it over the halfway line. Back to Rowe. Rowe flicks it through to Deere, and her layoff to Neville had too much on it and it's out of play. Portsmouth are going to make this second change of the afternoon. Angelina Nixon, the forward player, comes on for Sophie Barker, the midfielder. So second change of the afternoon for Portsmouth. Barker in the starting lineup for the first time since opening day, but she's not made it to half time. And on comes Angelina Nixon. So two changes made by Portsmouth in the first half of this match. Bit of a disruptive opening half for them here in Colchester, at the new home of Ipswich women. Deere collects it. She's forced backwards. Neville. Hornby tries to get there for Portsmouth, but Boswell reaches the ball first. Mitchell sends it all the way back to Peake. Rowe. Rowe sprays it out, or tries to, almost gets it out to Seaby on the right hand side. Bethan Rowe started the season in the left back position, but she's... Well, here's a chance for Hornby. Still Hornby keeps it in. She moved into midfield, did Bethan Rowe, in the latter stages of that second match against Nottingham Forest. Ended the game there really well and has stayed in the middle of the park since, with Summer Hughes coming in at left back. Lovely layoff from Dean to Deere. She can't keep hold of it. Bull. Back to Gray, who could do nothing about the goal through which Ipswich lead. So Sophie Barker having to go off moments ago, also with an injury. So two enforced changes for Jay Sadler in this first half. Negri sends it down the centre, but a Portsmouth head is there. Deere wins it back and does really well to spin the full 360, but gives the pass away. It's out of play. Hughes was not going to get there. Jazz Bull will get the chance for another throw in the closing seconds. There's going to be a fair bit of added time though. Still a chance for Portsmouth to head into the dressing rooms on level terms. 5 minutes of added time. Time yet for a goal at either end. Here's Deer hoping to spark an Ipswich attack, but she can't find Seaby. Now it's Angelina Nixon, the recent introduction for Portsmouth. Still Nixon. Nixon goes for goal! Brushes the roof of the net. Not too far away. Worth a crack. Angelina Nixon only been on a couple of minutes and possibly carried Portsmouth's greatest threat so far of the afternoon, because that was not too far away. Negri couldn't be short. She was scrambling. It just had a little bit too much height on it. The first of the 5 added minutes played. Oh, and the flag surely goes up against Pescott. It does. The eagle-eyed Imogen Gates. It's got it spot on every time on that right-hand touchline as Ipswich attack 3 times flagged offside. Humphries to Cone. Cone to Freeland. Back with Humphries. Cone carries it forward. Sent in low. It's Nixon again. She's had a sighter. Will she go for goal again? She does Nixon! What a strike from Angelina Nixon! Oh my word! A sensational way to bring Portsmouth level. Celebration's not too bad either. The Portsmouth players, the Portsmouth fans are dancing with delight. So Angelina Nixon has been on the field for 5 minutes. She came close moments ago. And then she absolutely thundered this one home into the top corner. Contender for goal of the season. We've not even reached the end of September. Take a bow, Angelina Nixon. Summer signing from Rugby Borough. She's showing she has what it takes in WSL 2. Just the tonic Portsmouth needed before the break. Well, it was a forced change because of the injury to Sophie Barker. The saw Jay Sadler send on Angelina Nixon. I don't think he could have expected quite that impact. Well, we've seen 2 goals of the highest quality this afternoon. It's the first half that zipped on by. And hopefully we're going to get more of the same in the second half. First half not quite done yet. 90 seconds to play. A bit more because of that goal, you'd imagine. Primer. She pushed to the ground. No, says the referee. Play on. Bull wins the header, but it drops to Dean. Dean wins her side a free kick just on the edge of the centre circle. Freeland not happy, the Portsmouth midfielder. Telling Dean to get to her feet, but it certainly looked like a foul, and Robotham is the 3rd Portsmouth player into the book in this first half. So Ava Robotham joins Greta Humphries and Jazz Bull in the book. Boswell with the free kick for Ipswich. Boswell with the free kick straight down the middle, straight into the arms of Gray. Cone. Humphries. Cone to Robotham. Freeland lays it back to Cone. Cone sends it long down the left-hand flank. The danger woman Nixon's on the charge again. Nixon knocks it in towards Gale. It will drop to Pescott. Pescott gets it away before Bull can gobble it up. Throw in for Ipswich. Greta Humphreys moves back into the central defensive position. And here's Pescott for Ipswich. Rowe turns well and guides it back to Peake. Peake arrows it through to Dean, but Humphreys will get there first, knocks it out of play, taking no chances, Greta Humphreys. And Fabio Rock blows the half-time whistle. Humphreys is down on her haunches. What a first half. It was stop-start to go with at the beginning. But then the game got into its flow. And Angelina Nixon, the star of the show, she's only been on the pitch a matter of 8 minutes in total. Came on in the 42nd minute. We had 5 minutes, 6 minutes rather of added time. But what a goal with which she brought Portsmouth level. So it's 1-1 at the break at the JobServe Stadium. We've been served an absolute treat in that first half. Rihanna Dean with the opener, Angelina Nixon with the equaliser. Ipswich Town 1, Portsmouth 1 at half-time. One into the back of the Ipswich net. And some style too. Fabio Rock, the referee, gets the second half underway. He was busy in the first half with 3 bookings handed out to Portsmouth players. Greta Humphreys, who's since gone off. Jazz Bull, the captain, and Ava Robotham also on a yellow card. No one in the book for Ipswich. Here's Seaby. She lost it, but Ipswich won it back. Neville to Boswell, the Ipswich captain. Collins knocks it out of play for an Ipswich throw. Izzy Collins, the Portsmouth left back. Grace Neville, the Ipswich right back, to take it. It's cut out straight away by Nixon. No free kick for Portsmouth. Cone back to Gray. Cone to Collins. Nixon holds onto it really well, does well to hold onto it, finds Freeland. Back inside. Patient build-up play from Portsmouth, who've had pretty much all of the ball in the very early stages of this second half. Neville with a bit of a hurried clearance, in fact. Gets away with it though because Hornby couldn't bring it under control. So Neville will collect the ball and take the throw. Had only had one club at senior level before joining Ipswich this summer, Grace Neville. Was at London City Lionesses for 6 years. Nixon, the goal scorer, so good at running with the ball. Lays it off to Gale. Flicked off of Hornby. Drops to Freeland, who goes from distance, and it wasn't all that comfortable for Negri, but she gathered it at the second attempt. Decent hit from Georgie Freeland. Really good start to the second half by the visitors. And Nixon's won her side a free kick there. And is Dean gonna, well, she's not gonna go into the book. Must have been borderline, that one. Fabio Rock has a word with her. Possibly quite lucky not to become the first Ipswich player into the book this afternoon. Free kick to Portsmouth. Freeland and Hornby standing over it. Freeland with the in-swinger. Goes over the head of Nixon, harmlessly out of play for an Ipswich goal kick. Natalia Negri won the Golden Glove in Tier 3 last season with 14 clean sheets for Ipswich. Don't think she could be in any way blamed for the goal with which Portsmouth pulled themselves level in this game. An absolute thunderbolt, postage stamp, top corner from Angelina Nixon. So much power and accuracy on the shot. 3 minutes before the end of regulation time at the end of the first half. Cone strides forward, lays it off to Collins. Collins over the top to Gale. It's back now with her former Arsenal youth teammate Seaby. Opposing teams this afternoon, and Seaby is fouled there by Cone, who's going to be booked, it looks like, or is she going to get away with a talking to? But it is a yellow card for Hannah Cone for that foul on Ruby Seaby. So Hannah Cone into the book. Five minutes played in this second half. Maria Boswell hovers over it. Boswell pings it in, headed away. Hornby can't bring it under control, and Boswell will get there first. Manages to nudge it through to Peskett, but she can't keep it in play, and it's out for a Portsmouth throw. Which Jazz Bull, the Portsmouth captain, will take. Gale wins Portsmouth a free kick, given away by Rowe. Collins is out of play for an Ipswich throw. Neville with the throw, goes all the way through to Dean. Seaby wins it back from Collins, but Collins picks it up and knocks it out of play for the Ipswich throw. Neville to Seaby, back to Neville. Collins is there for Portsmouth ahead of Deere, and it's off of Deere and out for a Portsmouth throw-in. Ipswich are getting ready to make a change. And there's also a member of the coaching staff going through a few tactics of what's going to be expected in this closing 40 minutes or so. Long ball forward, which Nixon did well to keep in, but couldn't bring it under control because Neville was there. And Nixon's given away the free kick. Neville's being told to move back a few yards to take it. Boswell to Seaby. Seaby gives it away to Freeland, who finds Collins. Collins back to Gray. Wilding runs into trouble, the half-time substitute. It's Rowe now for Ipswich. Hornby puts her under pressure. Hornby did really well there, in fact. Doesn't even concede the free kick, much to Rowe's disgust. Expert play from Megan Hornby. Joined Portsmouth in 2024 from Blackburn. Here's going to be the first Ipswich change. Natasha Thomas, their all-time leading scorer, their all-time leading appearance maker, the Jamaica international. She replaces Ruby Seaby, who's been heavily involved on her first league start this season. Ruby Seaby, Natasha Thomas on her third Jamaica cap as a substitute in that pre-Euro 2025 friendly against England. Throw in for Portsmouth. Gale brought it down really well. It's knocked over the top. Primer was caught in two minds somewhat and made it pretty easy in the end for Negri. Couldn't quite pull it back to her teammates who were lurking with intent. Free kick to Portsmouth, to the displeasure of the Ipswich fans. Excuse me. Taken too quickly, that free kick, and they'll get a second chance. Freeland and Hornby stand over the ball. Looks like it'll be Freeland. Hornby's moved to the left in acres of space. Freeland finds her. Oh, but Hornby got the cross horribly wrong. It was a good idea, one they possibly worked on the training ground. But Hornby, who's certainly camping in a dangerous cross from that left wing position, got it all wrong on that occasion. Primer wins a header in the middle of the park. Gale keeps it in and lays it off to Robotham. Prevents Robotham from advancing at the expense of a Portsmouth throw. It's off Rowe for another Portsmouth throw. Bull picks out Gale. Gale sends it back to Bull. Bull hooks it into the area. Nixon tries to bring it under control but gives away the free kick with a foul on Boswell. What a goal it was from Angelina Nixon to level proceedings this afternoon in the closing stages of that first half. As we look again at the incident where Nixon and Boswell have jumped and Nixon's given away the free kick. Boswell's momentarily down. And Pest gets caught in the sandwich, but nothing's given. Gale brought down by Boswell. Free kick given this time, and Boswell does go into the book. First Ipswich player this afternoon. So Maria Boswell, first Ipswich player booked this afternoon. Confirmation of that for the foul on Jessie Gale. Free kick to Portsmouth. Freeland and Hornby ready themselves once more. Can Hornby make amends for that wayward cross moments ago? She can certainly deliver them from this sort of territory. Freeland hangs it up high. Hornby rather hangs it up high. It comes back to the edge of the area, volleyed in! What a shot! Ava Robotham had a bit of a sighter in the first half, which was too close to Negri. On this occasion, she gave her absolutely no chance. What a way to put Portsmouth in front for the first time this afternoon. Hornby with a free kick. Nixon with the flick on. And Robotham absolutely pummeled it home. Well, the game's turned on its head. Portsmouth led from the 21st minute until the end of the first half almost. And oh, they got level straight away. Oh, the flag's up. It's not going to count. Natasha Thomas thought she had her first ever WSL 2 goal. The Ipswich staff, they are now celebrating. It appears a goal has been given. Jay Sadler, though, is charging forward. There's real confusion here. Fabio Rock trying to bring the players under control. For a moment it looked like the flag was up, that the goal had not been given. Jazz Bull is seeking an explanation here. It looked like her side had got away with it, that Ipswich's leveller had been disallowed, but it has been given. Well, there's real confusion. Jay Sadler, you can see there close to the fourth official, also wants to know exactly what has happened here because he thought his side had got away with it. Jay Sadler, the Portsmouth manager. David Harrison, the fourth official to his right. And Jay Sadler has now been booked by Fabio Rock and another member of Portsmouth's coaching staff. Well, we can look again. Sophie Pescott with the cross. What a header by Natasha Thomas. Did the flag go up for the foul on Pescott? Because Pescott was fouled as she put the cross in. If the referee didn't blow his whistle and chose to disregard that flag, then of course the goal stands, and the goal has stood. And Ipswich are level. I suspect the flag went up. The Portsmouth players appealed. I think Natasha Thomas herself thought for a moment that the free kick had been given for the foul on Pescott, but it hadn't. Play had not stopped. The whistle hadn't gone. And that being the case, of course, the referee is quite within his rights to let that goal stand as he should do. And we have seen a crazy few minutes here at the JobServe Community Stadium. Portsmouth going ahead through Ava Robotham's smart volley, but within seconds, in fairly controversial circumstances too, Natasha Thomas bringing Ipswich level. Topsy-turvy, seesaw encounter, thrilling stuff, drama all the way, and we've still got at least half an hour to go. Jay Sadler has hopefully had a few moments to just calm himself. The yellow card was shown to him in the midst of all of that. I suspect he started out just wanting to find out exactly what had happened, and then it maybe became too heated for the referee's liking, and the yellow card was shown to Jay Sadler, and also a member of his team. Well, it's hard to pick a winner from here. This game could go either way. I don't think we're done yet. with the goals. The Ipswich coach Warren Phillips received a yellow card. So not a member of Jay Sadler's staff. It was a member of the Ipswich coaching staff, Lauren Phillips. Grace Neville with the cross in. Nixon. Seems a long time ago since she pulled Portsmouth level just before the break. It's probably still the standout moment from this match. Confirmation of that yellow card shown for Jay Sadler, the Portsmouth manager. Nixon under pressure from Neville. Free kick given to Portsmouth. Hannah Cohn. Back to Gray. Cohn brings it forward. Sends it long. Boswell can let that go out of play as Gale chased it too. In all of that confusion, we probably lost sight of just what a moment that was for Natasha Thomas, the Ipswich forward at the other end of the pitch from Negri, who's about to take this goal kick. Been with the club as Natasha Thomas for a decade, the longest serving player. Here she is on the ball. Too much weight on that pass. She's just scored her first goal as a WSL2 player. It was a really well taken header from Pescott's cross. My word, those two have teamed up to great effect throughout the years. Pescott, another long serving player. Two of the players that Ipswich have kept faith with since coming up a division. It's such a big leap. But Ipswich kept faith with 14 of the players who helped them win promotion to WSL2 last season. And they're all trying their best to prove themselves at this level. There's been so many positives this afternoon, but no guarantee yet that Ipswich or Portsmouth are going to end this game with as much as a point. Could get better or worse for either of them. Bethan Rowe, who's new to the Ipswich party, having joined in the summer after turning down a new deal at Charlton. Midway through the second half. Gale was pushed by Boswell. He's got to be careful. She's on a yellow. Free kick to Portsmouth. The last one of these, albeit was a bit closer in, 15 yards or so, led to the goal which momentarily at least put Portsmouth ahead. Wilby sends it in again, headed away. Volleyed back in to the danger zone. Gale. Freeland. Can't pick out Hornby. Pescott, who set up both the Ipswich goals this afternoon. Can't get it through on that occasion, but Ipswich keep the attack alive. Summer Hughes. Hughes keeps it in, pulls it back, can't quite pick out Jenna Deere. It's good defending by Cone. Just over 20 minutes plus added time to play. Thomas. Still Natasha Thomas, leaves it for Mitchell. Comes up off of Bull and out of play for an Ipswich throw. It's a bit like the calm after the storm here, because after that crazy frenetic spell in which we saw 2 goals in 2 minutes, 1 apiece for each side, and then a lengthy protest and confusion about whether the goal had been given or not. It's all gone a bit quiet. Well, we have looked back internally at what may have happened in the build-up to that goal. There was a suggestion that the whistle might have blown from the referee before the ball was in the back of the net. Now, if that happened, obviously Portsmouth have every right to be very aggrieved with what's given there. We'll hopefully get a chance to look at that in more depth and detail, because it's a crucial point when the referee blew his whistle. If he did blow it before the ball went into the back of the net, that goal should not stand. We can't be completely affirmative of that, but there is you can see why some of this confusion has come about, and why there were those lengthy protest discussions, arguments to some extent after that Ipswich equaliser. Thomas just jogging back under a bit of pressure from the opposing number 7, Freeland. Portsmouth throw. Portsmouth on the charge here with Gale. Nixon turns and it's out of play. Collins with the throw in, and it's up and out of play for an Ipswich throw. Grace Neville takes the Ipswich throw. Collins back to Gray. Freeland long. Some tired limbs out there now, I think. It really does seem to have taken the sting out of the game, that controversy and confusion over the Ipswich equaliser. So the teams expended so much energy in that frenetic spell, both scoring and then a lengthy stoppage to try and determine exactly what had happened. The thing that really stood out of it was the confusion of the Ipswich players too, which may tell us something, because Natasha Thomas's immediate reaction looked to me as if she was saying, why is that not given? And that does beg the question of whether the referee did blow his whistle before the ball crossed the line. Not wanting to speculate too much, but something happened obviously which confused pretty much every player, every member of the coaching staff, and me too, admittedly. I think it was a very strange few moments, but it has left us with this intriguing scoreline of Ipswich 2, Portsmouth 2, and not quite knowing where it's going to go next. Fabio Rock, the referee, at the centre of proceedings. He's had a busy afternoon. 5 players in the book. I don't think you could quibble with any of those bookings. 4 for Portsmouth, 1 for Ipswich. I think he's had a decent game. It's flowed well, but it's just whether what happened in that moment. It may be he's done nothing wrong at all, of course. And that ball was in the back of the net before he did blow his whistle. Neville sends it long. He's cut out and is back with Collins. She whisks it inside, but Rowe wins it back really well for Ipswich. And here's Pescott with 2 assists to her name this afternoon. Pescott with the layoff to Neville. Asked a bit much of her, but Neville did really well to get there and gets the cross in. It's headed away. Sent back into the danger zone. Freeland a little risky, but Portsmouth momentarily get it away. Leah Mitchell wins it back. And Neville's not going to get to that one. And it's out of play from Ipswich throw. Neville straight back off her Portsmouth boots. Nixon, the opening Portsmouth goal scorer this afternoon. Rihanna Dean gave Ipswich a 22nd minute lead. Angelina Nixon just moments after coming off the bench equalised in the 2nd minute of added time at the end of the first half. Dean goes down. Not really much in the way of the appeals, and the referee said no foul. Neville is cut out. Falls to Pescott. Pescott with a cross in, headed over the bar by Dean. So as I was saying, Dean with the opening goal of the afternoon. Angelina Nixon with the equaliser just before the break. Ava Robotham putting Portsmouth ahead on the hour mark, and within 60 seconds, Natasha Thomas with the equaliser. Been 2-2 ever since. Oh, and there's a painful one there for Collins. Foul by Pescott. Fabio Rock comes across to check on Izzy Collins. Here's Pescott with the cross in. Now there was a whistle. There were 2 whistles that I heard there. Now, of course, we can't rule out the possibility. It seems unlikely, but you can sometimes hear a whistle from elsewhere, a whistle in the crowd. It felt to me there that there may have been an early whistle. It's a very tough thing for us to be certain of. And I don't want to speculate too much whether or not Fabio Rock's got that one wrong or right, because it almost needs forensic scrutiny. But something happened that really confused all the players on the pitch. And just having that brief look, with not the clearest of audio, understandably, it's quite hard to determine exactly what happened there. It's out of play, and it'll be a throw-in. Pescott back to Neville. Neville inside to Rowe. Rowe takes it through the legs of Collins. Mitchell. Mitchell over the top to Deer. Dear to Neville. Neville to the far post. Thomas is there again, but can't pull it back across goal. Did well to reach it, in fact, did Natasha Thomas. Made a real impact since coming on. The goal which brought Ipswich level was scored 7 minutes after she came on as a substitute for Ruby Seaby in the 54th minute. Rowe on the charge. Dear to Peskett. Oh, Peskett was caught. And that surely has to be a penalty. And Izzy Collins, who gave away a spot kick last week, unfortunately for her, has given away another one this week. And it will be an Ipswich penalty and a chance to go ahead for the second time this afternoon. It's a needless challenge, really, because the ball looked like it was getting away from Peskett, and Collins has come across and wiped her out. The Ipswich fans feel there should have been a card there. Paige Peake. She's scored a few of these in the past in her first spell for Ipswich. Now, Jess Gray has faced a penalty now 3 weeks in a row. Is it going to be third time lucky for the opponents? Because the previous two have not gone in. She saved one a couple of weeks back, and last week one hit the post. Can Paige Peake beat Jess Gray from the spots? Or can Jess Gray put off the opponent once more? Peake. Oh, it's a superb penalty from Paige Peake. And it's raining goals for Ipswich now. They started the afternoon yet to score in their short WSL2 history. They've got 3 on the board this afternoon. Paige Peake with her first since her return. And Joe Sheehan shakes his fist in delight. Ipswich led 1-0, trailed 2-1. They now lead. With 9 minutes plus added time to play. Back underway. Portsmouth have dug deep throughout the afternoon. They're going to need to dig deep again. Ipswich now so close to their first ever win in WSL 2. Dean wins the free kick. It's going to be a change for Portsmouth. Ella Rutherford is going to come on against her former club. She's on for Tia Primer. The 4th Portsmouth substitution of the afternoon, so they've got one more remaining. Ella Rutherford on for Tia Primer. Left Ipswich in the summer, having helped them get promoted to this level. Here's Peskett. 2 assists and 1 a penalty. Neville with the throw. Deer keeps it in over the head. It might yet come to something. No, it gets away from Rowe. And it's all the way back now with Negri, whose clearance isn't the best. It clatters into Hornby, but she gets away with it. Now it's right at the other end of the pitch, which is exactly where Ipswich wanted. It's going to be a long 6.5 minutes plus added time. Paige Peake. Paige Peake with the penalty. And what a spot kick that was. Expertly guided into the corner from Paige Peake. Hughes can't keep it in play. The card is out again here. Ella Rutherford's only been on for 60 seconds and she's gone into the book. The fifth Portsmouth player to be booked this afternoon. Maybe for something she said, maybe it was for a late challenge. Peak with the penalty that separates the teams going into the closing stages. It's been a thrilling seesaw of a match. And it's not over yet. Nixon. Lovely ball through to Rutherford, who turned really well. Rutherford takes a shot on! Oh, and I think Negri got fingertips to him. What a save from Natalia Negri. A superb shot. Negri tipped it onto the bar. Corner kick for Portsmouth. Hornby stands over it. In it comes from Hornby towards the near post, but straight into the midriff of Neville. Dean's knocked down, no free kick. Megan Waring, the Scotland under-19 international, will replace Sophie Pescott, who's had a marvellous afternoon for Ipswich. So her dad in the crowd with the drum, the Ipswich drummer, certainly has something to drum about now. There you can see him in the Ipswich hat. And his daughter Megan comes off the bench. It's her third substitute appearance in the league this season. She did start the League Cup tie in midweek too, did Megan Waring. Really big things expected of her. Tipped for full Scotland honours in the future, still only 20. Wilding knocks it long. Flicked on. Waring's first touch wasn't a convincing one. Flicked up off her shin and almost like an air kick. And Negri had to scramble it out of play for a Portsmouth throw. Mitchell does really well there for Ipswich. Now Rowe picks it up, tigerishly runs through the middle and now pushed out to the wide. She's taking on Bull and Rowe has gained valuable yards and wins her side a throw in on the halfway line. Ipswich so close now to a famous win. Summer Hughes comes across to take it. It's going to be an afternoon no one in that Ipswich crowd will ever forget. If their side can hold on in these closing minutes and hold on for a first ever WSL 2 victory. It's going to give them so much hope, so much belief, so much confidence that they can stay in this division. Jenna Deere, with all the experience she's brought since signing this summer, started out in the Chelsea Academy. With Sunderland most recently. One of the older players in the team. Thomas, with the header that made it 2-2 just after the hour mark. It looked like an Ipswich ball, but it's been given as a Portsmouth goal kick. Need to get it up the end of the pitch quickly. There is going to be a fair bit of added time, no doubt. But we're approaching the end of the regulation 90. Peak sends it down the centre of the pitch, but it's straight to Cone. Nixon back to Collins, who gave away the penalty that separates the teams, converted expertly by Paige Peake. Freeland, Collins, Jenna Deere will depart now for Charlotte Fleming, who returned from a long-term injury in midweek when she came off the bench in that League Cup side. Great to see her back in league action, a WSL 2 debut for Charlotte Fleming. Signed in 2024 from Watford, did the 23-year-old 6 minutes of added time. So time aplenty for Portsmouth to get something from this game. Nixon holds on to it. Crafty tug on the shirt by Mitchell. She knew the ref couldn't see her. She was the right side of him to halt Nixon in her progress. Wilding out to the right-hand side. Thomas wins the side of throw-in. Valuable throw-in. Time for cool heads for Ipswich. So close now to such a precious 3 points. Portsmouth have more than played their part this afternoon. In some ways, I'm not sure there deserves to be a loser this afternoon. Time yet for Portsmouth to rescue something. Rowe has really grown into this game, Bethan Rowe, taken control of that midfield in the latter stages.
This afternoon's Ipswich Town player of the match has been chosen by MSC, and they have chosen number 22, Bethan Rowe.
As this is all mentioned, actually has been named player of the match from an Ipswich perspective by the home side sponsors, deservedly so, I would say. Bethan Rowe. Shows how well she's played, and you think of the quality of some of the goals we've seen this afternoon. Out of play, or kept in play rather. And 4 minutes of added time remaining. Rowe again, tigerish in the challenge, knocks it out of play. Portsmouth throw. Nixon cuts inside, tries to pull away from Mitchell, has to check back outside and lay the ball off. Cone. Hornby. Wayward out of play. Tired ball forward from Megan Hornby, whose goal won the day last week. Won it very early on in that 1-0 defeat of Sheffield United. We've had rather more drama this afternoon. Jay Sadler went into the book for dissent in the confusion over that Ipswich goal, which made it 2-2. The header from Natasha Thomas on 61 minutes, just 60 seconds after Ava Robotham had volleyed Portsmouth into the lead. Dean. Thomas does really well to win the ball back and just carries it into the corner. 2 minutes of added time remaining. Looks to eke away a few valuable seconds, but Portsmouth win it back. It comes off the back of Robotham. Nixon. Still Angelina Nixon. Switches the play. Robotham sends it long. Headed away by Peake. Picked up by Nixon. We've seen what she can do if she's given the space. She's not given the space on this occasion. Back with Nixon now. Tries to flick it over the top. Neville smashes it into the sky. And just about Ipswich clear their lines. Collins. Hornby takes on Neville. Hornby gets a cross in. It's just drifted over that angle between crossbar and post. Megan Hornby been at the heart of so much that Portsmouth have created this afternoon. But it looks like the points are heading the way of Ipswich into the final minute of the added 6. Seconds away now, Joe Sheehan from tasting victory in WSL 2 for the first time in his career. The man who brought Ipswich up to this level. Ipswich certainly not in a hurry now. And the full-time whistle goes. Disappointment for Jay Sadler and Portsmouth, but for Joe Sheehan and Ipswich, a famous, historic afternoon. The first ever win in WSL 2. A busy afternoon for Fabio Rock and his officials. There's still some confusion, there's still some anger there from a Portsmouth perspective over the incident surrounding Ipswich's second goal, the goal which made it 2-2. Natasha Thomas's header just moments after Ava Robotham had volleyed Portsmouth ahead. We think the confusion might hinge on the exact moment that Fabio Rock blew his whistle. That seems to be what has sparked the controversy. We'll have to await really the confirmation, which we may not get before we go off air, to exactly what happened in the build-up to that Ipswich equaliser. But it's been an afternoon of high drama, an afternoon of plenty of quality too. Angelina Nixon in the centre of shot there, with probably the highest quality of many high-quality moments. The goal from distance with which she put Portsmouth level just before the break. Joe Sheehan, the Ipswich manager, takes the applause from the home fans. They've seen history made this afternoon. Ipswich Town Football Club have won a match in WSL 2 for the very first time on match week 4. Week after week, their performances have got better and better. They've got 4 points on the board from their opening 4 games. Jay Sadler, his Portsmouth side, got their first win of the season last week. Ultimately, it's ended in disappointment for Pompey this afternoon. Rihanna Dean's header set Ipswich on their way. What a header that was in the 22nd minute. Jay Sadler, Megan Hornby, you can see the disappointment on their face. The nature of the defeat, the controversy surrounding Ipswich's second goal. But it is Ipswich's afternoon. Ipswich 3, Portsmouth 2. What an afternoon. for Ipswich. The players in no hurry to leave the pitch, understandably so. Portsmouth players too, going to applaud their travelling fans. What an afternoon for every single Ipswich fan who has supported their team up through the football pyramid from Tier 4 to Tier 2 in fairly quick succession. And we can take so many positives from this afternoon. We head to Sheffield United next up. For Ipswich, never to be forgotten, a first ever win in WSL 2. Goals aplenty, drama aplenty. Full-time Ipswich Town 3, Portsmouth 2.
What he realised, he dropped a gaff by blowing, and then he tried to get out of his gaff, didn't he? But he couldn't do it because they'd stop.